Hello guys, in this video we'll be seeing about how to create the frame and placing that frame inside the Tkinter window, and also we'll be seeing the features of the entry field. And one thing which I left about the grid method also I'll be covering in this video. So let's get started. The first thing which we're going to see is about the entry field and how to use the entry field. So we'll be creating a basic entry field entry of which is going to be placed inside the root variable, and the width will be specifying as suppose we have it as 10, and if we pack it inside and if we run this, yeah, we can see here that the user the if we run this, yeah, we can see that the entry field is created inside the Tkinter window, and this looks pretty basic. But if we want want the border for this entry field, we can specify that as comma b equals to, suppose we have it as 5. And also this time we can see that the cursor is at the left side of the entry field. Suppose if you want this to be on the right side of the entry field, the command will be justify. If reduce justify equals to, we want it on the right side, so we have it as right. Okay, and in order to increase the length of the entry field, we can use the width command. Suppose if I have it as 20, yeah, you can see that it is from the right side and the width is about 20, and the border is also added. And if you want to change the background color of the entry field, it is same as the button command and how we did it for the label. It is background, that is bg, equals to what we'll have it as green, and foreground, that is a text color, we can have it as blue. If we see, yeah, we can see that the text is in the blue color and the entry field is in the background is in the green color. Suppose if you want this entry field to be a little bigger, we can change the font style so that the entry field itself will get bigger. The same command will be like font equals to, and the first one will be Arial or normal or something, fonts like that. In this case we will have it as Arial, and the next parameter is going to be the font size. In this case we'll have it as 20, and the next one is going to be how it should look like, that is it should be bold or it should be underlined, that parameter. So if we run this, we can see whatever we are typing in. Yeah, so the text now it is in Arial of size 20 and it is bold. Suppose if we give underline, you can see that whatever text we are typing in, yeah, you can see that whatever text we are typing in is underlined text. So this is how the entry field works. And suppose in case if you want to get the text from the entry field and display it in the uh, Tkinter window, for that we have to create a variable that will be string variable, that is for storing the value. Till now we were able to type the text inside the entry field, but we didn't specify where the typed text should be stored. So for specifying that, we should use this called as text variable. Text variable equals to what we give there, specify that value. What this is going to do, that is text variable, what is going to do is that whatever type text which is typed in the entry field will get stored inside the text variable, that is value, and it will be stored as a string. Okay, so now that we have stored that value, we have to get it outside of the Tkinter window, out of the entry field. So for that, we'll create a button. This is going to be inside the root window, and text equals to, suppose we'll have it as submit, and yeah, we can play packet inside the, yeah. And what we have to do now is for button, uh, the button is created now, and if we click the button, what should happen? We can specify what function should it do if the button is clicked. So for that we have to create another, we can place it inside here. Yeah, for that we have to create another function which is called as get button. So this function, inside this, what we are going to do is if the button is clicked, we have to get the text from here. So for getting, the command is value dot get, and we have to store this inside some variable. Suppose the suppose text equals to value dot get. What this is going to do is when the button is clicked, it will come inside this get button, and this get button, what it is going to do, whatever the value which is stored inside the which is entered in that entry field will be under this value variable, and value dot get, what it will do is that it will get the value, that is the text which is entered in the entry field, into the text variable. And next what we have to do is display the text inside the Tkinter window. So we have to create a label which is going to be inside the root variable, and the text equals to text. Okay, for text 1 we'll have that as text 1, and we can pack it inside the pack. So that now we have created this function, but we didn't call that function yet. So for that we have to do this function called as command equals to what function it should call when we give this click this button. For us we need this get button function, so we have to enter get button. It should not have this parenthesis, it should only have the function name without the parenthesis. If you are specifying some value inside some default variable, you have to pass inside this. Suppose we'll have this as what to say, suppose you're passing any variable over there, you can do like lambda and oh, yeah, you can do it like lambda command equals to get button of whatever value you have passing in. Suppose in case if you're passing an integer, you can pass it as 1. But if you're not using this lambda function, you're not supposed to use this parenthesis, but if you use it, it will give you an error. Yeah. So that now we have created this command, it should work. If we run this, yeah, I'm typing hello here and I'm clicking the submit button. Oh shit, I forgot to delete that, sorry. Yeah. So I'm typing hello here, and if I click submit, yeah, the hello is printed over there. And if I print hey there, and if I submit, it is there hey there. So this is how you use this button, and the command is used to do whatever function we specify, and value.get is how we get the value which is entered inside the entry field out to any other function. Yeah. So one more thing I wanted to show it to you is we will create a label for better example, root and text equals to hello, and l1 dot path, or we'll go by grid, and this grid we are specifying row equals to 0 and column equals to 0. And the next thing also I'm going to do the same thing, create another label and place it inside here, and in this case I'm going to do it as row 1 and column 0. If we run this, you know what the output will be. It will be printed one below the other. But in case if I give as row 0 and next one as row 5, then also the output is going to be the same thing. That is because in between row 0 and row 5 there is 1 2 3 4 is now rows empty. So the tkinter doesn't know where to enter this text, so it enters just below which is filled, which row is filled first, below that it will enter. So in this case row 0 is filled, below that row 1 is empty, row 2 is empty, row 3 is empty, row 4 is empty, and we are specifying it that hello to be entered in the row 5. So since these three rows are empty, this the fifth hello, I mean the hello which is going to be entered in the fifth row will go inside the row 1. And so, but in case if you want some space, you want some space in between that, you can do it like this. We can have some gap over here, and if we specify row equals to 1, you can see that some gap will be over there. Yeah, so you can see here some gap is there, and same thing we can do for both rows and columns. So that's it with the grid method, which I didn't specify in the last video. And entry field also I have explained everything. And yeah, one more thing which you can do in the entry field is that you can specify how the entry field should look like. Suppose like that entry field, should it be popped up or it should go inside the screen, same like how we did it in button and label. That is relief equals to, if we give sunken, and if we run this, you can see that it is going in. That is like, this is the default value. And if we give raised, yeah, you can see that the frame is popped up a little bit outside. Yeah, so moving on, next we are going to see how to create a frame and how to place this frame inside the Tkinter window. Okay, so for creating a frame, what we need to do is f1 equals to frame, and first parameter will be where we want to display the frame. In this case we want it inside the root variable, and next parameter will be what is the height, what is the, I mean the dimensions, that is height and width. So height will be, we'll keep it as 100, and width we'll keep it as 100, or suppose we'll have this with as 400, and the background color we'll have this as yellow, and f1 dot back. If we run this, you can see that the frame over here is created, that is correct up to the 400 width of the this width, and this is same, so it is perfectly inside over the, sorry, it's perfectly inside the frame, inside the Tkinter window. And if next frame if we create, and if we give green, you can see that that frame is placed below this frame. And we can also specify the how the border should look like relief equals to sunken, and here we'll give this as raised. And if we execute this, so that's how you create a frame. And one more thing which we can do with the frame is that we can consider the frame as a new variable under which we can place all the widgets. Initially we are placing the frame inside the root variable, but now we can place all the widgets under the frame variable, that is f1, and here it should be f2. Okay, so suppose we'll create a label as label under frame 1, and text will be we can keep that as frame 1 dot pack. We are packing it inside the first frame, and the next one we can do it as frame 2, and we are placing it inside the second frame. And if we run this, we can see that the frame 1 and frame 2 is here, but the frame size is lost. That is because once we create the frame and we use the pack method, the frame shrinks up to whatever the elements are there inside the frame. So in order to make it right, we can do the place method of x equals to 0 and y equals to 0, and here also place of x equals to 0 comma y equals to 0. And if we run this, now it should be correct. Yeah, so we can see that the frame is inside the frame 1 is inside the frame 1, and the text frame 2 inside the frame 2. In the previous case it was not like this, just because we did the pack method and this frame is also shrinked up to the text. So like this you can create a different frames inside the same window, and you can treat each frame as a new window under the same root variable. So that's it in this video. In the next video we'll be seeing how to create a simple calculator app using this all the concept which we have learned till now, that is using this frame and entry field, buttons, and how to use the button command and the label. So thank you for watching guys. Do like the video and share the video, and subscribe to the channel for more awesome videos, and stay tuned for the next video.